Crimes against senior citizens totaled over $3.4 billion this past year. Well, what are the most common types of scams? Chad White is the General Counsel for Brookdale Senior Living. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine and very interested to have this conversation with you because obviously this is a very real and huge problem. What are some of the scams out there that are tripping people up?
Well, there are several, but some of the most common include family or relationship scams. And this is where a scammer pulls on the heartstrings, takes advantage of someone who may be lonely, or even scares a senior into thinking that a loved one may be hurt or in danger. And so one of the common ones common varieties of that is a senior gets a phone call from someone pretending to be a relative, and the relative says that they need money urgently for, maybe it's a grandson or a granddaughter, niece or nephew, and they're saying they need something for a car repair or past due rent or tuition or even bail money. It's very common that someone is trying to scam a senior out of money through a scam like that. Another one that's very common nowadays is identity theft and what I'd call phishing scams. And this is where you receive an email from what looks like a vendor or a business that you do business with. Perhaps they're saying that you're past due on a payment or that you need to provide some additional information. What they want you to do is click on a link which makes you think you're going to that business's website, but it's actually a false website that's actually designed to steal your information or to take money such as your credit card money from your credit cards or credit card information. One other one that's very common this type of time of year in particular are utility scams, non-payment scams. You might get someone who calls you up or knocks on your door claiming to be from the local utility company, and they may say that you're past due on a bill, and if you don't pay within the next hour, we're going to disconnect you. That's a real risk that you're being subject to a scam at that point.
Well, I can see why people, their emotions would be so involved in those kinds of decisions and you're not thinking clearly. So what are some signs that people can be alerted to go, this must be a scam?
Sure. There are several that I think are important to know. One, if somebody demands money urgently or immediately, that's a big red flag right there. If somebody says you've got to act now, don't tell your relatives before you do this, send your money, that's a real sign that you may be a victim of a scam. If someone threatens to go to the authorities if you don't pay quickly or you don't do what they're asking immediately, that's another sign that you may be subject to a scam. And then importantly, if somebody asks you to wire money, particularly if they ask you to wire it overseas or make a payment in some other unusual form of payment such as a gift card or cryptocurrency, I think that's a very important sign that you may be a victim of or potential victim of a crime and that you need to push pause.
Well, Chad, how does Brookdale educate the clients on this subject and others?
Well, it's very important to us. Our mission is to enrich lives, and so we use our size and scale to try to educate our residents and our family members as much as possible about things like this so that they can help avoid becoming a victim of such crimes. One of the things that we do in many of our communities, we'll have local experts in who are finance experts or security experts who will talk about up-to-date information regarding potential scams. We also have community newsletters, email communications, and website blogs that provide information from time to time to help educate and inform those. The best way to avoid a scam is to prevent it in the first place, and so education is the best way to handle that.
Chad, can you send our viewers to a website where they can learn more?
Sure. I'd encourage your viewers to visit Brookdale.com. That's our website. We have lots of additional information about how to avoid being scammed, what different types of scams there are, including links to other sites such as the FBI where you can learn additional information.
Chad White, thank you so much for educating us on this important topic.
Thank you.
And we'll have more local lifestyles for you right after this. Stay with us.